Blood dripped from his trembling hands as he crouched behind the millionaire's car. The metallic scent of oil mixed with the cold night air as he whispered to himself, "She deserves this, she took everything from me." One twist of the wrench, one hiss, and the brake line was cut. Tomorrow morning, when her luxury car sped down the hillside road, there would be no stopping her fate. But what happened just hours later would expose a truth so devastating, it would turn a crime of revenge into an act of heartbreak, love, and redemption. Before we dive in, if stories about real emotion, hidden kindness, and shocking twists of fate move you, then please like this video and subscribe to the Kindness Chronicles, because this story will make you question everything you thought you knew about revenge and forgiveness. Rafiq Khan's hands had never done something like this before. He was a simple mechanic, a widowed father who barely earned enough to send his daughter, Alina, to school. But tonight, the man who'd once fixed cars for honest pay was breaking into a millionaire's garage, fueled by anger and desperation. Just a year ago, Rafiq had been proud. His small auto shop in Karachi thrived, and his daughter had just earned a scholarship to a top university. Then came Mira Qureshi, the youngest female CEO of Qureshi Motors, worth millions, powerful and ruthless. When her company took over his supplier, she cancelled all small vendor contracts, including Rafiq's. Within weeks, he lost everything. The shop closed, the rent piled up, and Alina's university dreams crumbled. Every night he watched his daughter pretend to eat dinner so he could eat a little more. And when she fell sick because of malnutrition, something inside him broke beyond repair. So tonight, Rafiq wasn't fixing cars. He was fixing his broken pride, the only way his rage knew how. Mira's sleek black BMW stood gleaming under the garage light. He knew this model inside out. He'd repaired one just like it years ago, back when people respected his work. Now, he crouched low, flashlight trembling, wrench in hand. His heart pounded as he loosened the bolt that sealed her brake line. He could hear Alina's voice in his head, gentle, kind, pleading, "Abba, please, don't do anything wrong. No one wins when we hurt others." But anger drowned her out. With one final twist, the bolt came loose. A hiss of fluid spilled onto the cold concrete. It was done. He stood there for a moment, shaking, staring at his reflection in the car's glossy surface. He didn't see himself anymore, just a man who'd been forgotten by the world. When he turned to leave, something slipped from his pocket, a small photo of Alina, smiling in her graduation uniform. It fluttered under the car, out of sight. He didn't notice. The next morning, Mira Qureshi stepped out of her mansion, coffee in hand, business phone pressed to her ear. Her assistant was rambling about quarterly losses and investor calls. She barely listened. She was used to chaos, she thrived in it. She got into her car, fastened her seatbelt, and sped out through the steel gates. But halfway down the mountain road to her office, something strange caught her eye. The sunlight reflected off a small piece of paper wedged near her dashboard. She reached for it at a stoplight, a photo. A girl. Maybe 19 or 20. Smiling brightly in a graduation cap. On the back, a line written in pen, "For my Abba, who fixed everything I broke." Mira frowned. Where did this come from? She was still staring at the picture when a truck blared its horn behind her. Startled, she hit the gas, the car jolted forward, and suddenly, the brake pedal felt soft. She pressed harder. Nothing. The car picked up speed. Downhill. Faster. Her phone fell. Coffee spilled. Her heart slammed in her chest as she gripped the wheel. No control. The steering trembled. A scream built in her throat, and then, a crash. When she opened her eyes, everything was blurry. Smoke. Heat. Pain shooting through her arm. She was alive, somehow. And beside her, that photo again. Unburnt. Staring back. That smiling girl. That night, as Mira lay in the hospital, the police told her the brakes had been tampered with. It wasn't an accident. Someone had tried to kill her. And yet, all she could think about was that photograph. Who was that girl? And why did the words, "my Abba," feel like a key to something she didn't yet understand? She gave the photo to her head of security. "Find out who this girl is," she said. "Tonight." Rafik woke up the next morning to the sound of sirens on the news. "Breaking story," the reporter said. Qureshi Motors CEO, Mira Qureshi, survives a near-fatal car crash. Police suspect foul play. He froze. The wrench dropped from his hand. His plan hadn't killed her, but it had nearly done so. He should have felt relief. Instead, a wave of guilt choked him. All day, he waited for police to knock at his door. But instead, someone else did. A woman. Late 20s. Polished, professional, Mira's assistant. She held up the same photograph. "Mr. Rafik Khan," she asked softly. "Where did you get this?" Rafik's heart stopped. "That's my daughter." "Why?" The woman's eyes widened slightly. "Miss Qureshi, she found this in her car. She wanted to meet you." He almost laughed. "Meet me? After what happened?" But the assistant only nodded. "She insists." When he entered Mira's hospital room, his legs trembled. She looked fragile, nothing like the iron woman he'd seen in magazines. Her arm was in a cast, face pale but calm. He waited for her to scream, to accuse, to call the police. But instead, she said softly, "Mr. Rafik, you dropped this." She handed him the photograph. The edges were a little singed, but Alina's smile still glowed. He took it, hands shaking. "You should have died," he whispered. I ruined your brakes." There it was. The truth. He waited for handcuffs, for shouting, for anything. But Mira just closed her eyes, tears gathering. "I know," she said. He blinked. "You know?" "I had my team check the CCTV," she said quietly. "I saw you. You left this photo behind. And when I read the words on the back," she swallowed, "I recognized the handwriting." Rafik frowned. "Recognized it? How?" She turned her phone toward him. On it was a letter, handwritten, framed in glass beside her bed. The same handwriting. "My scholarship donor," Mira whispered, voice trembling. "When I was young and poor, after my father died, a man I never met paid for my education. His name was Rafik Khan. A mechanic." Rafik's knees gave out. I didn't know," she smiled weakly. "I did. I found out months ago, before I cut those small vendor contracts. I was going to meet you, to repay what you did for me. But by the time I got to your shop, it was gone. Closed." Rafik covered his face. "I thought you ruined my life. And I thought you had forgotten mine," she said softly. Silence filled the room, heavy and heartbreaking. Finally, she said, "You didn't take my life, Rafik. You saved it. That crash, it woke me up. I've built a company on numbers, not people. I forgot where I came from. But now, I remember." She reached into her bedside drawer and pulled out a document. "I've reinstated every small vendor contract. And I want you to run a new division, Qureshi Care, helping small garages across Pakistan grow again." Rafik stared at her, tears streaming down his face. "You'd forgive me? After what I did?" She smiled faintly. "Kindness doesn't forget its roots. You taught me that once, even when I didn't know your face." Weeks later, Rafik stood outside a brand new workshop. The sign read, "Qureshi Care Center, in memory of Alina and all who dream.